Alrighty, let's talk push-up basics. So I'm gonna go over the move, what it should look like on the ground, starting at my toes, going up to the top, and show you just a couple of different things. First things first, you do not have to touch your chest to the ground for it to count as a full push-up, okay? Let me say it again. You do not need to have your chest touch the ground in order for it to count as a full push-up. The goal of the push-up is a 90-degree angle on that elbow, which I will show you. If you're knocking it out with that 90-degree angle and great form, you're rocking push-ups, okay? Don't feel like your chest has to touch the ground. Once you progress your push-ups and feel more comfortable with the movement, sure, we can definitely work on getting that chest to the ground, but not a requirement to perform a full push-up. So I've got my notes here so I don't miss anything. First things first, the starting position of a push-up is essentially a hand plank. So if you can perform a hand plank, you're at a great starting point for your push-up. Let's start at my toes first. One common thing that I will see in a push-up is for someone to be on their tiptoes like this. Of course, that's going to be a lot more difficult. You don't really have any kind of stabilization or anything like that. So as you're setting up, curl those toes under so that you're on almost the balls of your feet and then press down from there, okay? Here I go, toes curled, back and forth just so you can see. So I got my toes curled. As far as leg position goes, oftentimes we'll see a push-up with our legs and feet glued together, okay? So it might be a little bit difficult to see, but glued together here. That's not necessary. I like to do just a little bit of space, maybe just a little less than hip width apart for my foot position, okay? So you might need to play around with that a little bit. The wider your legs are, the more base of support you're gonna have, all right? So if you are really working on your ground push-ups, it might be beneficial to spread your legs a little bit wider, give yourself a better base, and then work your feet in from there. So we've got our foot position and leg position down. Let's talk about our quads, our hamstrings, and our glutes. Oftentimes we think of a push-up as a strictly upper body exercise, and that's honestly just not the case. We need to have our quads, our hamstrings, and our glutes contracted and nice and tight to help us with the up and down portion. So I'm gonna set up here. I'm gonna curl my toes first. Then I'm going to squeeze my butt muscles, my quads, and my glutes. So extra tight here, okay? Extra tight. Next up comes that core. So oftentimes we can kind of get a saggy back when we go for the up and down portion of the push-up. It's really important to keep our core engaged here. So a little exercise that I like to do just to help us think through tucking that pelvis, keeping that core nice and tight. I'm gonna set up with my feet, squeeze my glutes and my quads. I'm gonna stick my butt up in the air here, okay? When I talk about tucking my pelvis, I'm gonna think about bringing my belly button in and up, and I'm gonna think about pressing my butt down, okay? So I'm here, tuck, 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 squeeze, and I'm gonna lock it out here, okay? Everything is tight, my core is tight. In addition to bringing your belly button up and tucking your pelvis, think about pressing your ribs down, okay? That's really gonna give you a nice, solid, strong core. Next up is hand position. So a couple things here. First up, we want wide fingers. Oftentimes we're here, maybe here. If you've got wide fingers, you can grip the mat and sink down into it. So think about nice wide fingers. When I'm putting my hands on the ground, I'm gonna think about putting my palm, the base of my palm first, almost suctioning my hands down to the mat so they're stuck on there, okay? I'm pressing through my fingertips, I'm pressing through my entire hand. In terms of arm and shoulder position, a lot of times I see ladies starting out with a super wide grip. It's not that that's a bad thing, it's just a push-up variation. I like to teach it with arms kind of straight out. So we're gonna think here, I'm gonna put my hands here, my thumbs are gonna be touching my shoulders, elbows down, and I'm gonna push straight out. So you notice that I'm about shoulder width apart here. I've got wide fingers again, okay? One other thing to keep in mind with your shoulder position is that we want our elbows to come back at about a 45-degree angle. So one way to do that is to stick my arms out, and I'm gonna think about my hands having a screw coming out of my hands. So they're gonna be here, and I'm almost gonna screw my hands in, and then I'm gonna be able to push myself back. When I screw my hands down, I'm pushing my shoulder blades back and down my back, which is what we want, okay? So let's just set up again. Wide hands, shoulder width apart. I'm gonna press it down to the ground, suction cup my hands, and then I'm gonna screw my hands in. So see how my triceps are kind of on the front, and when I screw in, they come to the back. One thing that I like to tell people is to imagine that you've got a board stuck to your front. So let's just take this guy here. If I had this guy strapped to my back as I'm doing a push-up, if I were to stick my butt up in the air, look at how this would, if it was here, I'd be hitting myself in the face, okay? If as I'm coming up, my butt is sagging, we're here, and this guy is going all over the place. So I like to think about having this strapped to my body from my knees all the way up here, so that when I do my push-up, I'm going in one fluid motion, and I'm not allowing this board to move all over the place, okay? All right, now that we've set up, one thing that I see often as well is that sometimes, I'm gonna scoot back here, sometimes our arms are in a scaling triangle position, okay? So I don't have my shoulder over my wrist. So again, way to fix that, press out, come straight down. Think of it being stacked, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand here, okay? So let's make sure that we're at a 90-degree angle, okay? Just to ensure that I am not pushing myself back, I like to come up on the balls of my feet just a little bit, and then I like to lower down, push it back up, okay? Think about that board being on my back. Watch me do that one more time. Here, I'm going, the board is on my belly, on my belly. If I were to go down here, the board would come up and hit me in the head, okay? If I were to be here, the board would come up and hit me. Not a fun position to be in. So imagine that board all along your body. So if we're doing this on an elevation, same cues apply. Got my arm or my fingers spread wide. I'm gonna be on the elevation here. I'm gonna stick back, I'm gonna curl my toes. Butts up, I'm gonna curl everything in tight. And then I'm gonna lower down, back up, down, back up. Now a couple of mistakes, I've just gone over them. We've got the saggy butt here, okay? We've got the saggy neck here, and we've got that scaling triangle. So we're here trying to do some things. We've got the super wide grip. So we're trying to go down and up with that super wide grip. So in the next couple videos, I'll show you what to do, how we can fix those things, and share with you some accessory work that'll help you out.